What's up everybody, I'm the Mangoose, you are awesome, and today we're going to go over some good to know information about Predecessor. Buffs, spawn timers, movement penalties, crests, and items, just basic game mechanics that you should probably be aware of before you play. I'll link the outline of information for this video in the description below if you want a quick reference guide. Auto buy is automatically turned on when you first play and follows the recommended build order, which isn't that bad. If you don't want auto buy on, you just uncheck the box in the lower left corner of your shop. Everyone starts with a ward. The ward cooldown is indicated above your crest. The ward does not take up an item slot, and the standard ward can be replaced with a sentry ward that can see other wards. Wards cover a comparatively small area in Predecessor, so place them wisely. Unless you pick jungle, you start out with an Omnipot, a potion that regens both health and mana. You cannot buy a different starter potion. Your potion and its cooldown are to the left of your crest, and the potion refills when you enter the fountain. The jungle smite item called Hunt will automatically appear in your loadout instead of a potion if you have chosen the jungle role. You cannot get Hunt any other way. Pretty much everyone can swap roles after they have locked in, except for the jungler. I mean, you can swap, but you're not going to be able to pick up Hunt if you chose offlane. You can pick whatever crest you want at the start of the game, no matter what lane you've chosen. You can also view the crest's possible evolutions. The crests evolve by satisfying a variety of conditions based on what crest you have chosen, and the fully evolved crest has an extra active ability. For example, the warrior crest gives you health regen when you damage a hero, minion, or monster. After you have regen 400 health, the crest evolves into a better version of itself, then evolves a third time, at which point you pick one of 3 active crests associated with that starter crest. These actives vary depending on what crest you have chosen. For example, evolving the mage crest gives you the option to take stasis, while evolving the guardian crest gives you the option to dash forward and pull enemies towards you. All heroes in Predecessor have a passive ability, and the cooldown and or stacks for your passive are indicated to the left of your ability bar. All heroes in Predecessor have a flash, and the cooldown for that is located to the right of your ability bar. The red and blue jungle buffs spawn at 1 minute and 25 seconds. The red buff gives you damage over time and a slow on hit with basic attacks. This also applies to basic attack cleave damage. The blue buff gives you mana regen, ability haste, and extra ability damage to minions and monsters. Lane minions also crash at 1 minute 25, so assisting your jungle with their buffs, that's commonly known as leashing, that's discouraged in Predecessor. You don't want to do that. The jungle isn't that hard, and you'll lose out on a ton of golden experience if you leash for your jungler. Just let them do it themselves. River buffs spawn at 3 minutes. This includes both the mid lane little bug buffs and the side lane chonker buffs. Gold buff spawns to the side of duo lane and awards it's just a chunk of gold. You don't get like increased gold gain or anything. It's just a bunch of gold you get from killing the buff one time. Green buff spawns to the side of solo lane and gives a little bit of gold, experience, and health regen. The mid lane little bug buffs spawn in 4 different colors randomly. All of the mid lane river buffs give mana regen. Pink buff also gives you extra ability damage. Green buff gives you a shield, orange gives you attack speed, and black gives you movement speed. FANGTOOTH spawns at 5 minutes into the game and is indicated on the map by an orange dot. The FANGTOOTH buff changes for the first 3 that you take, and all FANGTOOTH buffs stack. Stacks are team dependent and not tied to FANGTOOTH, so if the enemy team takes FANGTOOTH twice and then you take it the 3rd time it spawns, you'll get the first iteration of the buff instead of the 3rd. Stack 1 gives you increased river buff duration. Stack 2 gives out of combat movement speed. Stack 3 gives 6% increased stats. Stack 4 gives 12% increased stats, and it keeps going up by 6% each time you take it after that. Getting the 4th stack of the FANGTOOTH buff provides more benefit to your team than taking the Prime Guardian, so if you have to make the choice between the 2, take that 4th FANGTOOTH. Mini Prime spawns at 7 minutes into the game and is indicated by a purple dot on your map. The power of the Mini Prime is only given to whoever last hits it, not your entire team. Mini Prime gives increased armor and damage. This is usually just given to the offlaner to assist them with pushing down their tower. Major Prime spawns at 20 minutes and gives your entire team, increased damage, and out of combat healing for a short duration. If you time it well, you can actually have one person that has both the major and mini prime buffs at the same time. Inhibitors do respawn in Predecessor. A dead inhib will respawn after 5 minutes, however, it will no longer fire on minions or heroes. It only inhibits the spawn of enemy super minions in that lane. There currently is no indicator for when the inhib will respawn, which is unfucking fortunate. Now here's some miscellaneous info you might want to know. There are no diminishing returns on stuns. If you get hit by a stasis bomb and Rampage hits you with a rock, as soon as the stasis bomb stun is over, you will still suffer the full duration of the Rampage stun. I know this probably just confused a lot of people, but if you've ever played a rogue in World of Warcraft, you know all about diminishing returns. There is no backpedal penalty in the game. You can S key away from an enemy team while looking at them just as fast as if you just turn and ran with the W key. There is a movement penalty, of course, for strafing, and of course there is a movement penalty when attacking. You can adjust your cast settings from normal to instant. However, this is a global setting that will apply to every hero. If you want the cast settings to differ between heroes, you need to reset them at the start of the match every time. It's a bit of a pain in the butt, but that's the way it was for Overprime. That's the way it is for Pred. I think Fault was about the only one I know of that had individual hero cast settings. Fault and Heroes of the Storm, oddly enough. You can adjust the position of your health bar, and you can apply that position to either melee or ranged. For example, I don't like having my health bar over my head when playing melee, so I have it offset to the side for all melee heroes. You can also just get rid of it completely if you don't want your health bar on your screen whatsoever, other than as part of your lower UI. You can just get rid of that thing if you really want to. You can also change the names so that it displays either the hero names, like it will say, like if old Viking Jedi is on the enemy team on Drongo, I can have it say Drongo, or I can have it say Viking Jedi. You can change that around. UI is it's a little more customizable than I thought it was going to be. Anyway, I hope this video gives you guys a little bit of insight and helped you guys out. Unfortunately, I don't have like hero stat scaling or anything like that. I don't know what your max haste is going to be. I don't know any of that stuff. I'm very sorry that I can't explain any of that to you. I'm sure we'll find out together as the game goes along. But that's all I got for you guys for now. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Sub for more third-person MOBA content. But for now, this is the Mangoose signing off. You guys have a good one. Mangoose! Shout out to channel members Joshua Van Noctis, J-Man, Jelly Knees, Passion Guard, Malco, Hassan A, Nico, F6, Actual Des, Dapper Dice, Lionheart Official, Blastoise King, Meow Mix for Men, Surge Ben, Covetous Lemon, Bearded Wolverine, Pizza Face, Pusey, El Draco King, Oda, Soul Reaper, Levy version 2, Clorox TV, iBlood Hunter, and Raven.